Coming up on Cricket Safari, best bowling performance of the tournament by Adil Rashid. Some real hitting power from Liam Livingstone and getting his team on the line. Kieron Pollard has arrived for My Emirates. The Sharjah Warriors roared back to a big win against the Knight Riders and avenged their defeat from the previous game. Adil Rashid showed why he's considered one of the best leg spinners in the world as his spell broke through the Knight Riders' middle order and got them out for 94. The Sharjah Warriors now are number 4 on the table. My Emirates still leading the top of the table. This is now wide open as we get to the business end of the tournament. Joining me on Cricket Safari, Darren Ganga, Liam Livingstone and Waqar Younis. Liam, incredible win for the Warriors, and of course you played such a crucial role.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, we didn't really know what to expect from the pitch, to be honest. We thought it was quite a good wicket when the seamers were bowling. But yeah, it's obviously handy to have one of the best leg spinners in the world in your team. So I thought Rash bowled, he bowled beautifully, and it allowed the other spinners to sort of chip in, the two part-timers, to get a couple of wickets and turn the game on its head, really.
And looking at some of Rashid's wickets, I mean, he was incredible today.
Yeah, I think his skill of being able to bowl slowly with great control, but also if the pitch isn't spinning, he can speed it up and bowl back of a length and get people off strike. So I think that sort of wicket suits Rash really well. He can take the pace off, he can really try and spin the ball, and obviously getting people caught at slip like that in T20 cricket is pretty cool for him. So no, I thought he was excellent today.
And what would you say, Darren? What were your thoughts on Rash?
You can't keep him out of the game. He's bowling well. He's hitting the target. He had that important run out of Laurie Evans. What impressed me the most about him is the fact that he was able to assess the conditions before he bowled that very first over, the 9th over. He recognized that it was a little bit dry. He said that he tried to slow his pace up a little bit more, flight the ball, use those sort of varieties to get the better of batters. And once he was able to assess those conditions, his execution was superb. The way he spun the ball, he didn't really use a lot of his wrong-ons, spun the ball conventionally away from right-handers, and then that slider as well, so effective. How do you play a guy like Adil Rashid in the net, so if you're playing against him in the county setup?
He actually got me out about 3 days ago, so not very well. Yeah, I think, look, as the game started, obviously I try and bowl leg spin as well with him, so we're always thinking, he was saying, I think the pitch may spin a little bit if we bowl on the seam. I said to him, I think the slower we bowl, the more purchase we'll get from the wicket, and that's the thing that people sort of miss out with Rash, is he's always thinking, he's always trying to assess how he's going to bowl, and he pretty much got it spot on today, and I think the control that he has when he slows his pace up is pretty special, so that's probably what makes him one of the best in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to ask you about, you bowl leg spin, and then when a left-hander comes, you bowl off spin. You don't have that confidence bowling to the left-hander, the leg spinner?
I do, yeah. I just know as a batter that having the ball spinning away from the bat is the most difficult thing to sort of play. So, if there's a big boundary and it's a good pitch and you can bowl the ball spinning into a left-hander, I'll happily do it. I just think, as a batter, I know that I would much rather the ball spinning in than spinning away, and I guess it's just trying to work on both, make sure that they're both in a good place, and use whatever the captain wants of me.
Is it T20 only that you use that, or one days also?
Yeah, I use it. It probably started more 4-day cricket. I bowled more off spin just because I had better control than what I did leg spin, and then second innings when there was a bit more footholds, I tried to bowl leg spin. So yeah, I guess it's T20 cricket. You just want to try and be a little bit different, trying to be trying to get them 1-2%ers that can give you the advantage over the opposition. So yeah, it's just sort of assess conditions on the day, see what you think is best for that pitch, and use whatever we need. Really.
No, great bowling.
And Liam, what's the mood in the camp after this win today?
Yeah, it's obviously not been great after I've only come in in the last game. Pretty difficult wicket at Sharjah that we got wrong. But yeah, it's T20 cricket. It's very up and down. as much as you can get on a roll losing games, you can also get on a roll and winning games. And hopefully this is the start of us of winning the next 4 games and hopefully winning the tournament. So we know what we need to do. Things are pretty simple for us. We've got to win every game from here on in. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we can get on a roll now.
But you're leaving now, isn't it? You're just leaving now? That's not fair, is it?
I know, I have a prior family commitment. So yeah, I miss the next game, but hopefully the boys can do the job and I'll come back into the squad for the finals.
Right.
But Liam, when we talk about your batting performance today after that early wicket that you guys lost, you came out and of course were aggressive like your natural style is. Was that also keeping in mind the net run rate?
It wasn't actually. I knew the pitch. I didn't really want to face Narayan when the field was out on that wicket, to be perfectly honest. So I just tried to get as many runs as quickly as possible. I knew it was going to be easier against the seamers than it was against the spin. Yeah, it's probably been about 6 months since I got a couple off the square, so it was quite nice to get a few out the middle, which has been pretty difficult for me of late. So no, I enjoyed myself. I said this may have been the last game before I have a little bit of a break if we'd have lost the game. So I promised myself that I was going to go out and enjoy myself, have a bit of fun, back with a smile on my face, and thankfully I got a few out the middle, which hasn't really happened of recent time.
Well, thank you so much for talking to us and have fun with your family.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
You.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
What a player.
Yeah, I thought he was going after that record for the fastest half century. That
could have
record
done that,
held by Azam Khan.
Yeah.
Took, what, 13 balls for 30? I think the record is 18 for a half century. So
he was almost there. I mean, when he gets going, when he start playing his shots, when he plays aggressively. Normally for England when he played down the order sometimes, and it is sometimes a little difficult, but up the order when the ball is new, the way he swings it bad, the fast hands, the ball travels quickly.
And would you say his bowling is underrated?
yeah, I think so. I think a guy that has that versatility to bowl a right-arm wrist spin that spins away from a right-hander and then bowl an off-break with similar control, that's a handy customer. That's a handy bowler in this format of the game. He got the wicket of Imad Wazim, pitching the ball in the right length, extracting turn, recognizing that the surface offered something. And for a captain, when you have a guy like that and you find yourself with a pitch that's offering something for the slow bowlers, by all means, you use him.
Yeah, the biggest surprise for me was that the finger spinner, the ball spun. That means the surface was really dry. Normally, right-arm leg spinner or left-arm wrist spinners, they get spin on most of the surface. And Adil Rashid is one of those characters. The pace he offers to the ball, he's always going to get the spin from at any surface. But yeah, the kind of control he's got a really good drift also. The wicket he got off Imad was just drift in and then sort of spun away. It is not easy to handle for a left-hander batsman.
Well, now, when we talk about another warrior, he's going to give us a masterclass on a shot that has served him well, and he also hit the winning runs today. That's Martin Guptill.
A lot of players like to pull the ball and cut the ball. I like to be straight to the point. I'm Martin Guptill, and I'm going to teach you about the straight drive. Last time I played one of those shots was it was definitely in the nets, unfortunately, not in the game, but in the nets. When you really work hard on trying to perfect these shots, and when they come off, it's a really good feeling. So if you can do that in the nets, you can do it out in the middle. It is a shot where people sometimes hold the pose. I think in that situation it is each to their own, but when you execute a perfect straight drive, it's one of those ones where you don't have to run and you can hold the pose to just watch the ball go all the way to the boundary. The last straight drive I saw in a live game was Usman Khawaja in a test match against the West Indies. Let me try and explain how he executed that so well. He's picked up the length nice and early. He's got his head into a really good position where he's coming forward into the ball, and he's just hit through the line of the ball. He hasn't tried to overhit it, he's just punched it down the ground. Between the bowler and mid-off, he executed a perfect straight drive, and it's rolled all the way for 4 with perfect timing, beautiful grace, and just an excellent cricket shot. I've had the pleasure of playing against Sachin Tendulkar in my career, and unfortunately he's scored way too many runs against us, but I had the opportunity to actually watch how he plays, watch some of those straight drives and how easily he played them. He wasn't, I wouldn't say he was a flamboyant player, he just went about his business and played his shots, and some of those straight drives where he just literally just dropped his bat on the ball and held the pose there. you know, the ball raced away for a boundary. I never got the opportunity to speak to him about batting or anything like that, but having watched him, you know, it was pretty special.
Great explanation, isn't it? Great explanation. He was one of the best one when it comes to driving the ball. He hit through the cover also quite nicely. But my question here is, you know, Darren Ganga has got a bat in his hand, and you played against me. I don't remember it, but
2002, yeah.
And I just want, because you're also a very good driver of the ball. I just want to ask you, okay, I'm bowling at you. And how would you describe your drive?
Waka Yunus is trying to suck me into this trap, all right? Because not many batters were able to drive him because he had that
Let me hold your mic.
in swing. So to drive Waka Yunus, you probably drive him more with head, hands, foot, not too much of a big stride. So you drive him just on side on from your back foot, not your front foot. No, wonderful bowler. He's not going to suck me into that trap.
Because I always wanted players to just take a big stride to me and then look to drive. I always target those boots.
Well, thank you, guys. I feel like we always love this little masterclass that happens between all the commentators as well. But on the other side of this break, we have a special someone and a big man, Kieron Pollard, who's back in action and joining the My Emirates. Welcome back. How incredible was that win today by the Warriors?
Yeah, look, great for them because they have been underachieving, no doubt. And you look at the balance of their side, the different guys come and go. A couple of little niggly injuries, but I think the big talking, of course, is that man there, the player of the match, Adil Rashid. And good to see him back, actually, in terms of having a quality class wrist spinner. And I think in conditions that suit, it just shows you what the spinners could do, and particularly their old Rash. Nice little lead. Not just enough, and then a couple in rip, and then some toppies, sliders as we call them too. So lots for Niall to rave about very shortly. Very excited, weren't you,
He's
Niall?
the lucky one. He's the lucky one, apparently. But we should look at his wickets first.
Yeah, well, he bowled so well tonight. It was great to see him, as Danny says here. He didn't have much to bowl with on game one. He bowled so slowly. I can't remember seeing Adil Rashid bowl so slowly, in and around that 66 to 75k mark. That is really slow. You think of Rashid Khan, the leg spinner, bowls about 110. So he took the life out of every single ball. That's a beauty. Against his good mate, Ravi Bopara, they played a lot of cricket with and against each other. So when you get your mate with a lovely leg break, it just drifts in. And then it just bites, and the slip was in the right position.
But but seriously, tell us the truth. Like, what did you tell him? Because you caught up with him early, and that was like magic.
Yeah. I wish I had that session with Adil Rashid while I was still playing cricket, because anyone who knows my stats against Adil Rashid knows he got me out a lot for not many runs. So that would have been a very valuable conversation for me about 10 to 15 years ago.
Good.
But you did have a chat with him, so I think you need to tell us a bit about that analysis.
Well, listen, what he went through was the repertoire of what he can do. So he's got 3 or 4 balls. On the left here is a standard leg break, so you can see where the hand position is. In the middle, that's one he's developed over the last, I would say, 4 years, and we'll call that the slider. Shane Warne probably call it the flipper. And then on the right-hand side, it's the googlies. That's going to come out the back of the hand. So on the left here, leg spinner, that's going to turn away from the right-hander. And it's fairly easy to pick. The slider, not so easy. He just pushes it out the front, and look at the ball drift. So the slider, not just coming down straight, but actually drifting in. And then the googly is quite hard to pick up. So most good leg spinners will have 2 googlies. Leg spinner, that is slow. It's turning, it's bouncing. Slider, fast, into the surface. And then the googly, watch out for the googly. Now, any batter worth their salt would have realised he bowled the first one there, was the leggy, and then he went the slider. So as a batter, you should have known it was a 3-card trick. It was going to be the googly at the back of the hand. Now, Mushtaq Ahmed, the great Mushi, Danny, you'll know him very well, he always had 2 googlies. One googly he let you see, and then the second googly was a disguise. So often you play someone like Mushtaq Ahmed, he would say, googly coming, and he'd tell you, but then he would bowl you the other googly, which you couldn't pick up. So it's all about bags of tricks. He mentioned before the game, he's adding to his repertoire, he's getting better. He's 38 years of age, Adil Rashid. He's got 2 World Cup winners' medals in his house. He wants another World Cup in the States and Caribbean. And when he's bowling like that, on surfaces that suit, he's hard to play.
I just noticed when we saw that analysis there, the wrist spinner not the big one, just a little one, and then the slider, not quite as much, and as you pointed out, quite hard to pick up. And so there in that replay, they're only subtle, sometimes bigger, but the subtle variations are very difficult for batters to pick up sometimes. And yeah, you just look at the release there on the leggy, might not have been as biggy, and then as a slider there, look, not a huge amount. Yes, as you said, a little bit out the front, but not massive. Just a little, and the front hand gives it away a little. But if you're getting through your action quite quickly, and as you pointed out, Nobby, the thing about Rashid Khan, when he bowls at 110, he's got the fast arm. These are guys who are a bit more traditional, and these guys are probably, you could argue, are they easy to play in these conditions? I doubt it. But Rashid Khan with that fast arm, difficult.
Well, I reckon the slider, of all the balls that Adil Rashid has now, he's always had a good leggy. He had that shoulder operation, I don't know if you remember 4 or 5 years ago, he had a really bad shoulder. So actually bowling that googly was quite difficult for Adil Rashid because he couldn't get the shoulder up and over. So he's had to work on it. Even think his googly now, he releases from a slightly different position, not your conventional up by your right ear. So I think he's had to work a little bit with that shoulder. But I think the biggest ball that Adil Rashid has added to his army is that slider. Because you often see in one-day cricket especially, the first ball, even T20, we'll keep an eye on the next couple of games, often he bowls the first ball of a spell, he bowls that slider. So the batter's thinking, right, Adil Rashid, good leg spinner, watch for the leg spinner. All of a sudden, the slider comes at your pad.
Do you think also, you mentioned that shoulder injury is a good thing, that I think just more to get that shoulder warm too, possibly, just to get it going?
Yeah, well, he's played a lot of cricket. He's played a lot of first-class cricket.
He's a bit younger than you.
Little bit. and just a little bit younger than yourself.
He's so rude, isn't he?
But I feel like I want to know what the predictions were going into this game with you guys today, because that's always the most fun part.
No.
Let's have a look. Let's find out.
Dooley, what a rock star.
Oh, dear. Look. What does this mean for the table? Because Simon Dool was the only one who predicted right.
Well, that's fine. But in terms of the sides batting first here, right? The sides batting first here have won, and that's been great. But, of course, the pitch now is a little bit different, a little bit dry. And I don't think any of us picked that really was going to turn that.
Niall, where are you on this table?
I've been last for a while.
He's a fit young man. He props it up strong, you see.
Yeah, see, what I've been doing is what Simon Dool did tonight. So I've been going against the grain, trying to catch up when I've been behind the 8 ball. But tonight I said, must be a Knight Riders win. Playing too well, and they let me down.
Again.
Back to a more serious chat. I think with the Warriors winning today, it really makes this tournament so exciting because there's chance for everyone at this point to still make the playoffs. Let's take a look at the points table.
Well, when you look at it, the Warriors have got 8, right? They clearly need 10 because the Knight Riders are on the 10. I mean, don't worry about the MI because with the big Q there. But, yeah, even looking at the Vipers. So the Vipers there, you're right. It's still possible. Things have got to go their way a little bit too, though, don't the other guys?
I mean, it is a massive game tomorrow, but we also know it's the defending champions taking on my Emirates, who are top of the table. But there's one man who is going to be joining.
The big guy.
Yeah, Polly's back. Great to have Polly.
Hi, I'm Kyron Pollard. I'm here in the UAE to represent my Emirates.
Pollard coming back. Well, he's coming to my Emirates. Pooran's gonna be gone, but yeah.
Where's Nicky going?
He's down under.
Is he? Is he going back to Australia?
Yeah.
See, I like it there too. I live there, and it's a bit warmer than here, I've got to say. But on a serious note, Pollard, good to see him back. He's been in South Africa, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. Skippered last year. Skippered the side last season. But he adds a bit of power. They're going to miss Pooran's power, and Pollard coming in gives that bit of class and experience. My Emirates have been sensational. The Gulf Giants are a pretty handy team as well.
Yeah,
the Gulf Giants. Well, who do you like tomorrow night?
I'm going to go with my Emirates.
Oh, Bollywood.
Bollywood, of course. I'm from India.
Are you?
But the Giants need a win. We know that. They need a win. My Emirates is the only one that's made it to the playoffs so far.
Yeah, and I think that plays into the Giants' hands, really, because, you saw tonight, Knight Riders a little, not going to say complacent, but the opposition needed it that bit more. You thought tonight the Sharjah Warriors, they knew if they lost tonight, the Sharjah Warriors, they're pretty much out of the tournament. So appetite, desire, I think we'll see that from the Giants tomorrow.
The other night, the Giants had a really close game, and let's take a look at that winning moment. It was spectacular watching them. Oh my God, incredible.
Those in orange, yeah. I mean, they too, when you think about them being defending champs, they've certainly underperformed this season. They just haven't quite clicked as a group. So maybe tomorrow, big game as you mentioned. Let's go with the guys in orange versus your mates in blue.
My mates in blue. And now we saw Hetmyer in that. He was celebrating as well. He's really been good for them.
Yeah, not bad.
Finally, he had a very, very quiet start. Truth be told, Shimon Hetmyer, who played so well last season, his first 4 or 5 games this year, he never got going, never got out of second gear, but finally he found some real fluency and uncomplicated hitting that we know, 53 from 28. And probably just coming good at the right time at the back end, the business end of the tournament.
And what about Kusal Pereira from my Emirates?
You like him?
I mean, Danny, you put me on the spot. Does it matter?
It's a yes or no answer.
Yes.
He's a good cricketer.
Oh, good.
Rhetorical question. So cheeky. Look, I do like him, and we all know the Sri Lankan power. Unorthodox sometimes, but he's one of those guys when he gets going. That's what you pay your entrance fee for. Oh, like it.
And what about the leading wicket taker of the tournament, Faruqi?
Yeah, good bowler, Afghanistan left armour, highly skillful. Been around, good 24, 36 months now. Got enough pace, can swing the ball, but generally bowls back of the length. He's got a very good, deceptive, slower ball, good off-cutter, and he's just quick enough. Highly skillful. I'll tell you what, to be top of that leaderboard with the wicket takers is a good effort because there's a lot of high-quality bowlers out there.
What are your final thoughts from today and from the tournament? It's just getting more exciting and
It's
intense.
just heating up. It's heating. And I'm so happy for the Warriors because they had 3 terrible, terrible losses. Everyone was writing the Warriors off, but they've bounced back in Abu Dhabi. So the tournament, it's there, it's alive, it's kicking.
Can you see he said it's starting to heat up his Irish? I thought it was getting a bit colder, didn't you? It's freezing.
I'll warm you up.
Please. I'm going...
Do you want Al to warm you up?
No.
Okay.
I won't say any more. Don't take the bait, Danny. But I'm going with the MI as well.
All right. But I mean, it's wide open now. If you had to think who's going to win tomorrow.
Tomorrow's game, I'll go for the Giants.
Yeah.
Andy Flower. Men in orange.
Yep.
And the tournament.
A tournament? Oh, Knight Riders.
Oh my God. Knight Riders winning the DP World ILT20.
There you go. You heard it here first.
We can't go with you. Going with orange.
Well, I guess right now we're going to celebrate a big win for the Warriors. And tomorrow, a big game coming your way. Stay tuned.